hard times and some lost thoughts on this tough climb, but we move on to better things. We will overcome. We are kings and queens. It's a cold world full of hard times and some lost thoughts on this tough climb, but we move on to better things.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Tea Nicole Show, where everybody can show up as their authentic self and tell your story. You guys are in for a great treat. But before we get started, I need you to do me a favor. Like this video, click this video, and share it. And be sure to comment below because, again, you guys are in for a treat because we have a brother here all the way from Detroit, Michigan. And I'm so excited that he's here in the building with us today. But make sure y'all follow him, support him, his cause, what he's doing. But first, you got to know who he is. His name is Mr. Dion, and I will bring him on now. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Tea Nicole Show. Hi, Dion.
How you doing, Tea Nicole?
I'm doing good. It's been a long time since we've talked, so I'm so glad that you decided to join us on today.
Okay.
So can you tell us where you're from and what you do, please?
Okay. Well, I'm actually from Detroit. I was
Yeah.
born and raised in Detroit.
Mhm.
Uh, I took a little trip to New York for a while, then I came back to Michigan.
Mhm.
So I'm currently back in Michigan. And what I do is I do a host of things. I got a day job, and but in between that, I do a lot of advocating for brothers and sisters that's incarcerated all across the country. I give them a voice. I got a platform where they can come onto my platform and be able to uh, tell their story or reach out to some of their loved ones or some of the people that they haven't been in contact in a while. I give them a chance to reach out to them and communicate with them. Also, I communicate with a lot of people that's in a lot of advocacy groups. I like to give a couple of shout outs to some people that's really dear to my heart that really is about the work. Miss J Love, she's an outstanding sister. She has a movement, turn a moment into a movement. She's really diligent in what she do. Uh, I like this also that a brother by the name of Marvin Cotton, he was wrongfully convicted, and right now he's out campaigning to go down to Lansing and represent his district is representing some of us that's been incarcerated and some of us that's still incarcerated. He's on a campaign. So August 2nd, if you're in Detroit and you're voting, vote for Marvin Cotton in District 11. That's the person who you want to vote for. And I started with me and my nephew, we started an organization called Free People, Free People. And what Free People is, it's just like coming together with certain individuals that might have a delay or a bondage within themselves that they're trying to free themselves of. Either it be mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is. We formed this organization to where free people can free people. You know what I'm saying? For example, you might have a bill that you might need to be paid. This is just an example. You might have a bill that you need to be paid, but you're paying your other bills, so you really can't focus on paying this other bill that you want to pay. So, as a free people person, I would say, well, you know what, T, here go $100 so you can pay your bill to get that stress off your mind, so you won't have to worry about paying that bill because I was able to free you up from that debt that you was under. That's just an example of what it is. It could be greater than that. You know what I'm saying? We have people that's incarcerated that need to be freed up. You know what I'm saying? They worrying every day about some of their family members that's going on out here. They can't keep up with their daughters, they can't keep up with their sons, they can't keep up with their certain family members. So what I would do is, to free them up, they might call me, I'll get on the phone and be like, man, could you could you give my mother a call? Could you give my brother a call, my daughter a call? Just to take a little weight off of their shoulders. I would reach out to their family member to let them know that their loved one is concerned about them, want to know how they're doing, even though they're incarcerated. You'd be surprised about the people that's incarcerated that really that want the best for their family members more than they want to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? They want their mothers and their fathers and their sons and daughters to be prosperous out here, even though they're in prison. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how you could be took from society and still focus on raising your children. You know what I'm saying? Still focusing on how's my mother doing? How's my father doing? You know what I'm saying? And come up with all kind of avenue ways to let them know that you okay. So that's some of the stuff that I do. Also part of an organization called Prison Project. And what Prison Project is, it's a group of brothers that's in prison, and what they have done is they come up with certain criteria that they come up with, and we take that criteria and we take it and bring it out here and put it into, to action. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we're working on trying to eliminate some of this gun violence that's going on out here in society, as well as with the youth. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people, that's really misusing their privilege to even have a gun. They leaving their guns in open sight so children can get it. I think a couple of weeks ago, a 14-year-old boy shot a 13-year-old girl by mistake. A couple of days ago, another young child got a hold to a gun and wound up shooting himself in his leg or something. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be aware of, what these guns is just going on. And then, you got these other young children out here that, just running around, running havoc out in certain neighborhoods, just trying to shoot up everything. So, that's another story. But I'm basically working on, the institutions right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some brothers and sisters up out of the institution that can come out and help in the I'm gonna call it a struggle, because it is a struggle dealing with the government. It's a struggle dealing with the government. Even though we put those people in office, it's still a struggle to even try to get them to do something that they said they was going to do on their campaign run. So right now we're working on we calling it Heartfelt hard copy campaign. And what that is, it's Heartfelt hard copy campaign.
Heartfelt
So,
hard copy.
What that is going to be is me and a couple of individuals that's incarcerated. So say like if you have somebody, for instance, like my nephew that's in Chippewa. So what we would do is we would send a letter to the congressperson in Lansing that's governing that district of Chippewa. So we got a letter drafted up. So all you would have to do is click onto the Q code, and once you go to that Q code, it's going to go straight to the letter. And then once you go to the letter, you download the letter and you just sign your name to the letter. The letter is already drafted out. Once you sign your name to the letter, put it in an envelope and you send it to that representative. So what we're doing now is, a lot of times when we do rallies, a lot of people go out and they rally for their loved one. You know what I'm saying? So and that's good that you should go down to certain Lansing and rally for your loved one. But in order for the people in Lansing to hear you, we decided that, with our campaign is we're going to designate certain individuals that we're going to go down and rally for after we send this hard copy letter to them. So say like my nephew, for instance, if he can get 1,000 people to send a letter to the representative in Chippewa from Chippewa to send that letter to Chippewa, and that representative get that letter, they have to respond back to the hard copy letter. They just can't, like an email. You can send an email. They don't really have to necessarily respond to an email, but for a letter that's being sent to a representative, they have to send a response back to that individual. So what we're going to do is we're going to send a letter out to that particular district. And once they get the letter, that letter will be heartfelt. So we'll do that, and then we'll do another person. and do another person out of another district. So we all know that everybody down in Lansing, they in the same room. So once that gets around that this heartfelt letter is coming out from these certain individuals, that's going to give them a notion to say, well, who is this person that all these letters are coming from? You know what I'm saying? And that's the campaign. So
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Can you say that campaign name one more time for everybody? And then say if somebody actually wants to do it, because I feel like a lot of people may, once they see this, they are going to want to do it. Do they have to stay in Michigan or can they be from all over the world? How does that work?
well, if this once we do the name of the campaign is U.S. Felt Heartfelt Letter Campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Heartfelt Letter Campaign. That's what it is.
Okay.
Heartfelt Letter Campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily have to be from Michigan, but if you have a loved one here that's locked up in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
or you would like to support somebody that's here in Michigan, you could send that letter to the representative. You don't necessarily have to be from Michigan to send a representative a letter concerning an individual that you're advocating for. So that's what we're gonna do. So we in the middle of I got all the senators and the representatives' names. I got all the districts that I need. The districts. I got the letter, but right now I'm in the process of getting our Q code. I think that's what you call it. You know
It's
that
a QR code. QR
yeah,
code. Mm-hmm.
we're in the process of getting a couple of QR codes, so that way we're trying to make it easier for the individuals, so they won't have to do a lot of work. You know,
Yes.
they ain't got to write the letter. All they got to do is just click onto the QR code. The QR code is going to go straight to the letter. From that, you download the letter to get a hard copy. And once you get the hard copy, you just sign your name where it says sign your name, Matt. Fold it up, put it in an envelope, and mail it to Lansing. So
Okay.
that we're doing that. We're in the process of doing that. That should be done in a couple of weeks. We're going to really start pushing the campaign for that. But since I'm on your platform, I'm pushing it now. So
Well, but you know what? Thank you, because we wanted to get in people's ears and into their hearts. Because if they do not know who your nephew is, so the first person, we're only doing one person at a time because I can't.
Well, actually, we're working with, we might do more than one person at a time,
Okay.
depending
Okay.
on the individual.
The
Okay,
individual.
because I'm also affiliated with this organization called Tarp,
Mm-hmm.
and what Tarp is it's the Adolescent Redemption Project, and they have town meetings. So we've been talking about the same thing as well as what I'm talking to you about. We've been talking about that on Tarp.
Okay.
But and they're supposed to help out along the way. But I'm the kind of person, I can't wait on nobody. I can't wait on somebody
Yeah.
to do something I can do for myself. So when I
Mm-hmm.
start putting it in motion, and once they get involved, I'm quite sure it's a lot of people that's involved with TARP that have loved ones that's incarcerated that letter need to go out to. Or if they don't even have to be part of TARP. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
In
people
general,
in
right?
itself that
Mm-hmm.
need to get on this campaign, because we know that your loved one has been gone for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, the best thing to do that I came up with, and the people that I talked to that we came up with is, you know, in order for us to get a reaction from Lansing, doing this hard copy campaign, we have to zero in on one individual. So we might zero in on one individual. We got 12 months in a year. You know what I'm saying? So we could take a month out of each day. I mean, out of each
So
year.
you said something powerful, because you was like, we can it's 12 months in a year, and if we could target one person once a month, that'd be amazing. So if I look at it and I believe that we can hit those numbers, we probably could even do two, because some people might just be like, okay, I'm gonna do that 1,000. You might get more than 1,000, who knows? But we're gonna target one, and the benefit to this whole thing is what I'm gathering and from our conversation, that we are going to team up and help everybody. You know how sometimes people have rallies, support groups, I mean, not support groups, but the rallies, and they only have one person representing different family members. But now we're trying to get it to where we are inclusive, where it's like we're going to stand behind this one person. So say if it's John Doe, everybody gonna bag John Doe, then they're gonna go behind Sally Lou, then they're gonna go behind Demel Dukes, they're gonna go behind everybody else, because we know we are stronger in numbers, right?
Exactly. And the purpose of really doing this campaign is, they're about to have I don't know if you want to call it a law or policy that's going to come into effect, and it's called second look legislation. And
Mhm.
with second look legislation, once they pass that, that's why we want to send these letters to these senators and these representatives with these certain individuals. So when it come time for them to pass the second look legislation law, which I truly feel that it's going to do, they're going to do this, that they will look at some of the people that they already got letters from. So when they start looking in those individuals' institutional records to see are they even worthy for a second look. You know what I'm saying? But say like we send we got a thousand letters sent for the mail, right?
Mhm.
And each senator or each representative, even to his district, all we if we send them to that person, that particular person out of that district. So now we got another individual that might be in Coldwater, Michigan, and
Mhm.
we send the same information to that individual. So now they're in the house talking about, well, who is this DeMille and who is this other person? You know what I'm saying? So when they say, are they worthy for a second chance, and they can go off into their institutional file and see all the works that individual have done to prepare them to come back out here into society. And that makes them worthy of having a second chance to get back out here in society. And some people say when you go to prison, you pay the debt to society. But when
Mhm.
you go to prison, you don't pay no debt to nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just there. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay your debt to society until you come back out here and be able to do some things in society that the changes that need to be made. That's the debt. You know what I'm saying? Not being locked up.
Hold on, you said something profound because I want to back up. All of what you just said was profound. You said that they go into their institutional records to see the work that they done. So some people actually be in there doing work. And can you tell me what that looks like for DeMille? Because you said DeMille is your nephew. DeMille Dukes is your nephew. So can you tell us some of the things that he has done? Even though we're gonna have him on the show too, but because you're supporting him, can you tell me some of the stuff, positive things that he's done?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things he have done is, they got these prep classes.
Mm-hmm.
And what a prep class is say like you might be on your way home, you know what I'm saying, and you might not know how to deal with a certain situation. So uh, the mill, and it's not just the mill. It's a
Mm-hmm.
circle of brothers, you know what I'm saying. But the mill is like the chairperson, okay,
Mm-hmm.
chairperson. What he would do, they have a prep class. So what they would do is they would come up with certain scenarios that might could happen when you get out, and they'll speak on that scenario, talk on that scenario,
Mm-hmm.
and come up with a solution. It was a couple of brothers that my nephew had the pleasure of working with. That's right now is out here. They live in a productive life. You know what I'm saying? It's a brother. Uh, he started his own rental car service. He
Wow.
bought three nice cars and he rents them out. You know what I'm saying? It's another brother that got off into the dog maintenance thing. You know what I'm saying? And he makes dogs and he makes lots of money doing that. So it's just like taking things that you think about, thinking outside of the box about, when you get out, you necessarily don't have to really have to go, to the government to get a job. A lot of people a lot of people that get out of prison, sometimes it's hard for them to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because of their circumstances. They on parole. A lot of people don't want to hire you because you've been in prison and this and that and the third. So what Jamel does is sit down with individuals and come up with strategies and ideas so they won't have to, so they can provide for themselves instead of depending on another uh, entity for finances. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's been real successful at that. He mentors a lot of brothers that's in there. Like I said, the prep class is one of the basic classes that get the individual ready to come back out here into society.
But thank you for that. Because I feel like what you said about him and his team, because it is a couple of them that helps other individuals. A lot of people needed to hear that because sometimes they don't realize people actually go in and they do what they need to do and go be above and beyond. So I just hope and I know that our listeners, they will be in support of, because they want to see what people are doing that's positive. And the free people, like the movement in itself, I'm proud of the work that you guys are doing. That's how I was like, I need to have you on the show, because it's somebody else that you're currently working with too, because you have a visitor in the room with you. Who is that in the chair in the back with you?
Oh, that's a piece called Helen,
Helen.
and she was created by Sister Susan Brown that's in Huron Valley. And
Hmm.
I had the opportunity, the sister was kind of that she was displayed, Helen was displayed at Michigan University in their art gallery. So a couple of weeks back, I guess the art gallery was wondering what was gonna happen to her so far as, where was she gonna wind up at? Because not to say she couldn't stay there no more, but the exhibit was closing.
Hmm.
So Susan called me and asked me would I take on the guardianship of Helen. And if you want to see Helen, you can go on to susanbyart.com, and she has a lot of artwork. This sister's, real diligent and profound in making art. I'm talking about creative art, and most of all her pieces come from within the institution. You know what I'm saying? Helen was created within the institution. And she represents freedom. You know what I'm saying? She got a peace pipe. Yeah, she got her hand over her heart. That represents peace. And there's just a lot of other things that's on her that signifies peace. And I had the opportunity of taking Helen to We Bear Art Show that was in Ann Arbor last week. And man, it was so beautiful, man. I was able to connect with Susan and let her, even though she's incarcerated, I was able to walk her through the art show, and it made her feel like she was right there because I was her eyes at that moment. You know what I'm saying? She had her own voice, but I still was her eyes. The children was gravitating towards Helen. People that never seen that kind of artwork before was gravitating towards it. So, that was just a beautiful thing for me to be able to take her on that journey. And sometimes it just don't be. I went to Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. They had a Freedom Festival, and I did some recording, and I was able to let some people down in Atlanta know that that the fight is real, and that this is not just in Atlanta; it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So my nephew was able to communicate with some people down there as well. So anytime, like I say, anytime I get a chance to free up some people, I can do that. I don't mind doing it. I just say I don't got nothing but time on my hands anyway. But I enjoy, helping a individual that really can't get their voice out here. You know what I'm saying? And they have so much to say and have a lot of knowledge and a lot of things they can help other people with. You know what I'm saying? Because in the institution, they just don't want you to keep. They I don't know why they do it. Why they do it what they doing? Because I guess that's their job to do what they doing. But God is making a way for individuals to reach out back out here to society, and I'm one of those tunnels that you can go through to get that done.
Well, thank you for being that tunnel. Thank you for being that beacon of light to help people. The struggle is real. And like you said, it is a fight out here. Like sometimes people only see what they want to see, or sometimes they just see what they see. But when you are able to expose truth and expose things, because I feel like this, I believe that everybody deserves a second chance, especially if they are doing the work to improve themselves. So the thing is, it's not like they're doing it for us. They're not doing it for anybody but themselves. And so I know sometimes we make decisions, and I've talked about this before. Sometimes we make decisions based on our feelings and our emotions, or what has been done to us, or sometimes we might not even be guilty of the thing that we were charged with, whatever that looks like for people. Like sometimes we get a deck of cards, they are handed to us, so we have to learn how to deal with it. But I feel like this. Like I believe like everybody deserves a second chance. I
Now,
believe that everybody.
I don't mean to cut you off too, because I don't like to get on certain people's, get on people's platforms and just be screaming out free, 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 free. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I understand that there's a lot of people that there's people in prison that have committed crimes against their loved ones. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? I
Hmm.
understand that. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
in this time and age, we look at like, well, he deserved to be there. He killed my so and so. He deserved to do that. You know what I'm saying? Which according to the law is right. You know what I'm saying? If you kill somebody illegally, you know what I'm saying, you deserve to go to prison. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
considering what the circumstances is. But right now, we just looking at the way this government is set up is, you can only house so many people in prison. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I'm quite sure it's some people in prison. I know some people in prison that
Hmm.
have committed crimes to other people, and,
Hmm.
and that's in prison right now. You know what I'm saying? And have showed remorse for however that situation played out. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Sometimes you got to look at how that situation played out.
Yes.
Most people, some individuals are locked up for armed robbery. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Some people are in prison for uh, a drug deal gone bad. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
you got to look at the circumstances of why did that individual have to put a person to death? You know what I'm saying? Why
Right.
did he do that? You know what I'm saying? Some people just out here just is just chaotic. You know,
Hmm.
and just got caught. So yes, they deserve it. They deserve to go to prison and face what they need to face according to the judicial system. You
That
know,
part.
but if you got a lot of victims out here that's willing to reach back and say, I lost a loved one. That person killed my loved one, but look what this person is doing now. I can't bring my loved one back, but the person that killed my loved one is doing such a great thing in prison that's that he actually redeemed himself. You know what I'm saying? So when you could forgive somebody for killing somebody in your family, and then you would want that person that killed the individual to come back out here because they have showed remorse and they have showed that they are better than the person that they were when they committed that crime.
Mhm.
So, right, they do deserve a second chance. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Thank you for summing it up like that. Thank you for making it plain and clear because a lot of people need to hear that. Because I'm not saying that, because there are some people that committed some harsh crimes, some, I don't even know the word. It's like some really, really harsh crimes. Yeah, like you said, according to the law, you have to do the time or, like face your consequences. And so the thing is, we know because like I said, people go in and do what they need to do, and you just made it plain and clear, and I like that, and I don't have to go back over your words because you made it clear. And so I thank you for that, and I thank you for being that beacon of light. I thank you for being a change agent, and I thank you for agreeing to come on to the show today. Do you have any final words or anything else you would like our viewers to know before we go today?
Yes, I would like to say, if you have a loved one or if you know someone that's in prison and you could reach out to them through JPay or any other form of phone call or whatever. And if you don't even want to do that, man, it's all about the energy, man. When you could step up, I know it's a lot of people on Facebook, there's a lot of people on this social media, man. When you could, if you could reach out to somebody that's on social media that might know your loved one. You know what I'm saying? They don't give up on your loved one. That's all I can say. That's my closing thing. Don't give up on somebody that don't need to be given up on. You know what I'm saying? If you got a loved one that's incarcerated, keep your prayers, keep your positive energy going, and just stay focused on, you know, seeing your loved one walk up to you and you can embrace them. No matter what the circumstances is, let's keep the energy alive because that's what we work off of. I work off of energy, the vibration of how other people react to having somebody incarcerated. And I know it's a lot of mothers, it's a lot of grandmothers, it's a lot of aunts, it's a lot of uncles, a lot of fathers that got their loved ones incarcerated. And I'm just hoping that we all can come together and build a nice structure so we can get some traction on getting our loved ones home.
Thank you for that. And so we want to say thank you, Dion, for coming to the show. And I also want to say this one more thing because it came to my heart. Like, I thank you for the work that you are doing. And I believe that everything is going to just, continue to move in a positive direction because it's going to be people like you, people like the founder of Tarp, people like myself that are educating and empowering others before they get to prison, because it's like we got to figure out how we can make change before it gets out of hand. And so, like, these, like how we educate and talking about the second look, and then like when people get a second chance, they come out and do good. Because you mentioned like a few people that came home, turned their life around before they got home, and now they're out here are being impactful in their community. And so now I honestly believe those people are actually helping to rebuild their communities, speaking life before the children or even young adults go to prison. So that's what we got to think about, and that's what we're looking at. So thank you again, Dion, for this conversation, and I will have you back on the show again very soon. And so people will connect to you. All your social media links are posted, and they will be posted so that way people can contact you. So I thank you again so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed and amazing day. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
All right, peace. I'll see you guys next Friday. Have a blessed and amazing day. Bye, guys.